folks, so it's been a while since I posted a video, and many people have commented about the video I posted on what to expect after going through colorectal surgery and dealing with chemotherapy and dealing with cancer treatment. And so I wanted to provide an update. It has now been 2 years since my treatment has completed. I'm happy to say that my scans are still showing that I am 100% cancer free. My CEA, which as you all know, probably is a blood marker that you can use to determine if there is cancer detected in your body, has maintained below a level of 2, which they say a danger zone is 5 or higher. I had a friend who recently went through treatment, and when she had her CEA tested, it was 35. So that's a good, benchmark to test. So I wanted to do a video because a lot of people have asked how I'm doing, how my recovery has gone, and pretty much it has been a continuous progression of gradually reduced doctor's visits over time. Initially, I had to do scans and a colonoscopy and blood work on a quarterly basis. Actually, once I had the colonoscopy done post-treatment, I was cleared for 3 years and just told to report if I had any symptoms. And then my scans I had to do every quarter along with blood work, and now I've gotten to the point where those now happen every 6 months. So I'm actually getting ready to go in next month to do a scan and to do blood work with my doctor, but right now everything's been super clear and awesome, and everything has been looking good. Some lifestyle changes that I have made are that, one, I switched locations. I moved geographically across the country, moved from California to Tennessee. I just wanted to have a slower pace of life and a more chill environment, and I felt things where I lived in the Bay Area were pretty hustle and bustle, and I wanted to just really take some time to relax. And so I had shut down my coaching practice and I really stopped doing all the superfluous things and just specifically focused on, getting a regular job and kind of chilling out for a little bit, and until I felt like I was actually prepared enough to do something else. So around December last year, actually around November, I got introduced to what's called a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and I actually have one behind me, which you can see a little bit here. It's the home one there. It's the soft home hyperbaric oxygen chamber. And the thing I noticed is that when I started to use the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, I started to really get an increase in energy, that some of my neuropathy symptoms that had persisted have started going away, and I generally started to feel better. So I purchased one for the home. Me and my partner purchased one for our home, and decided that that was something that we were going to use just as a protocol for good health, and I have found it to be tremendously helpful for the recovery of my additional symptoms. So since I went through treatment, the main symptoms that I've continued to have are neuropathy. So I had for a long time tingling in my fingers and in my toes, so that definitely helps with it. And then I find just in general, I've had very low energy. And so I found that since I started using the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, that's been really helpful, that my energy has dramatically improved, and I feel usually pretty energized throughout the day, and even into the evening until I'm actually genuinely tired. The other thing I've noticed is just that I've had a lot more focus, and I've been able to take on tasks that I wasn't able to do before. So I used to really have a hard time just paying attention at all. I felt a little bit like I had ADD, even though that's not a term I would have ever used to identify with previously. But I noticed that it was hard for me to focus on things for a long period of time, and I have seen some dramatic improvements since using the chamber. So on a continuous basis, as far as things are concerned for supplementation, I'm still very much endeavoring to eat a whole foods diet as much as I can, but I find that I also have some balance. So I feel like I've got a pretty good balance there between constantly eating whole foods and then actually eating things that I enjoy. Not that I don't enjoy whole foods, it's just kind of finding a balance. And then supplementation, I've been continuing up with a pretty heavy duty vitamin regimen and supplementation regimen. I use one of Dr. Amen's Brain MD vitamin supplements. I also use, I take a fish oil in addition to that as well, so that way I can have kind of a rounded out profile of vitamins and nutrients that I'm getting in, which has been really helpful. Of course, I continue to exercise and eat well and sleep well, and those are all things I think have contributed to me staying well post cancer treatment. So what's ahead, you may be wondering. So as I continue to remain cancer-free, now that I'm getting energy back, one of the things that I've decided that I'm going to do is move forward with writing my next book. So for those of you who don't know, that I had a book that I published in 2015, 30 Reasons You Didn't Get Hired, and now I am looking ahead to share my experience and really share some of the things that I've learned both through my cancer journey and through my coaching practice in a new book that's going to be coming up. So the title is TBD, but I wanted to just kind of give you a heads up that that's something that you can look forward to in the next several months, hearing more about. And then also just wanted to see what questions you all have about where you're at in your journey. People have made a lot of comments on one of my postings specifically about the pain, about not knowing what was next. And I'll be honest, like for a long time, I felt like I didn't know what was next. I didn't know if there was going to be continuous pain for the rest of my life. I didn't know if I would always feel like my guts had been turned inside out. I felt for a long time that like my activity was going to be limited. But I would say that now more than ever, I really feel like so much stronger, and I feel like I'm in such a better place mentally and physically, even before I was prior to my diagnosis. That even with like the slight lingering symptoms that I have, I didn't post about this, but I actually fractured my foot once I started to finish treatment and start to exercise again. I had an injury, so I was in a boot for a while. So I have symptoms from that, but that wasn't anything because of, that wasn't from the chemo specifically. It was just because I had neuropathy in my feet. So that created some problems where I couldn't feel things, but eventually sensations and things like that have returned. But I wanted to offer that if there are questions that you have that you wanted me to answer, I would be happy to do that. I feel like going in, the hardest part for me was that there weren't people who'd gone through this before who were really talking about it. And that's where I really found that, you know, meeting people who also had been through the journey, who also had been through the struggle, who could actually give me some source of hope was amazing, because I felt like it was a pretty limited group of people. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you are somebody who has just gone through treatment for colon cancer, or you have questions, obviously I'm not a medical doctor, I'm just a person who's come through the other side, but I do want to share my experience with you if that's helpful. So feel free to drop in the comments below, and I will just do another video that's going to be entirely a Q&A on the questions that you have just about treatment and about you know, all the things that I've gone through since that time. And there have been questions too about, you know, all the bathroom stuff. So I know that comes up a lot. And so I'm happy to address all those questions in a separate video if you want to just drop comments below, and, you know, or if you want to just direct message me, and, you know, if something that's private, you want to keep it anonymous, I'm happy to answer it. And then just, you know, let you know that it's going to be answered in an upcoming video. So that's it for me for now. I hope you're all having a great day. Be well, and more to come soon. Bye.